Look, I know I had Trump on the podcast, and I'm aware.
Explaining that.
No, but let me just clarify, because I think it is important to say, like, I know how I had him on the podcast. When I'm talking out about this, I'm not doing it to, like, get people to be like, oh, he's a good guy or whatever like that, or trying to get anybody on my side. I understand that this is a horrific event that happened. I objectively want to talk about it. I'm not trying to, like, win anybody over in this.
You understand? You know the difference between right and wrong.
There's a difference between right and wrong, and there's a difference between, like, respecting and honoring the Constitution, the backbone of our country, and then completely shredding it. And this is completely shredding it. I just think it's an important thing to speak out against. I just think it's horrific.
Comedian, podcaster Andrew Schulz is admitting that he's having some buyer's remorse when it comes to Donald Trump. Now, during a conversation about the Alex Preddy shooting, and he was shot and killed by 2 Border Patrol agents in Minneapolis, and the abuses of federal immigration agents, Schulz went on to basically accuse the Trump administration of shredding the Constitution. Cenk, your 2 cents.
Well, I want people to pay attention to what he's saying here as to why he's now done with the Trump administration. And I want you to have hope that there are a lot of people out there with open minds who might have voted for Trump in the past, but are now realizing what's happened. And that's a beautiful thing. So let's do this story so you get all the facts.
So this was during the latest episode of Brilliant Idiots, which is a great way of describing most of US media, but nonetheless, Brilliant Idiots podcast with Charlemagne the God, as you saw in the video. The 2 co-hosts discussed the fatal shooting of Alex Preddy and the Trump administration's grotesque premature response to it. Now, immediately after the shooting, Kristi Noem, for instance, DHS secretary, dubbed him a domestic terrorist. Stephen Miller claimed that Preddy was there to massacre law enforcement. Now, Andrew Schulz called out officials in the federal government for immediately jumping to conclusions about Preddy and disregarding Preddy's constitutional rights. Take a look.
The administration swears an oath. The president, these other people, they swear an oath to
the Constitution,
uphold the Constitution. This guy was exercising 2 of his constitutional rights.
Right to protest.
Let's assume it's the right to protest. Let's assume he is peacefully assembling and protesting, and the right to bear arms. And when you immediately jump to justifying that act, what you are doing is, in an effort to preserve your own personal power, you are shredding the Constitution in the face of the people. And it doesn't matter where you sit on the aisle. There is one document that is supposed to bind us all as Americans, and that is the Constitution. So I think that's why at its core, there are a lot of people that might have very radical views that are giving incredible pushback on this. And I love seeing it because they're recognizing that this disgusting act of shredding the document that's supposed to bind all of us as Americans.
So, I mean, look, I appreciate the fact that he's willing to say this, knowing that he's gonna get backlash from honestly all sides. The reception to his commentary there from the left has been that of scolding, jeering, how dare you, you had him on your podcast, you helped him. I think that's a mistake because I think one of the things the right did correctly in the lead up to the 2024 presidential election is that if anyone had any reservations about voting for Biden and then when he dropped out Kamala, the right would try to bring people in, right? And if you aired your grievances about the Biden administration or how Kamala was treating, let's say, the Palestinian protesters, you would attract the ire of other Democratic voters. I think that's a mistake. You're pushing people away. You're helping the right win. So my view of this is, I agree with Schulz on this. He has reached the right conclusion on this. So with that in mind, like, give him space to admit he was wrong and see if you can work together, right? See if you can build a broad coalition to win on issues you care about. Like, that's, I wanna win. Like, to me, that's the important thing. Winning and building a country that is better for all of us.
Yeah, so I'm biased here and I'll explain why in a second, but we're doing a poll that goes directly to Anna's question. It's on TYT.com. Andrew Schulz now regrets voting for Trump. Should we A, make fun of him, B, welcome him with open arms? I don't think it's complicated, but I was curious how many people would vote, make fun of him. And we're at what, 20%?
It's only a few votes.
Okay, but it's only a few votes, right? So go ahead and vote. I'm curious what you guys think. So look, here's why I'm biased. I've been on Brilliant Idiots, loved the show. And we had a terrific show together, Andrew Schulz, me and Charlemagne, when I was on there. And I think Andrew's a really good guy, he's a smart guy. And a lot of the podcasters that are more comics, like Theo Von, Tim Dillon, Andrew Schulz, I think those three are perfect representative sample of the independent podcasters. Remember, they're young, right? So we've been around since the internet began, right? I'm Father Time. So I've seen this movie 100 times, but a lot of them haven't, and they're comics. So they're like, well, all right, I'm looking at this election, and I see Joe Biden doesn't have a brain. I'm not gonna vote for him. I mean, he's literally senile. I can't vote for someone senile. And all the Democrats are telling me I'm a Nazi for not voting for a guy with no brain. I mean, I saw it leaking out of his ear. We're gonna blame them for that, but it turns out his brain was leaking out of his ear, and we said it here, and we took a lot of crap for it. And then Kamala Harris is a corporate robot. I have 90 corporate CEOs saying I am the best, right? Oh, I love Dick Cheney. And so they said, how do we vote for that, right? Now, what I kept saying is, yes, but guys, I know it's bad, it's not good. We would prefer populists on the left. We're for Bernie, etc. But Trump is even worse. And why? Just like Charlemagne said in this exact podcast that we're referring to here, because he said things like we should terminate the Constitution after he lost in 2020. He has no boundaries at all. He is a con man. He doesn't care about anyone else. He has no empathy at all. Don't forget, Noble Mobile saving you a ton of money. So a lot of people are signing up now and beginning to realize, what the hell, why am I paying so much to Verizon and AT&T? So your bill's only $50 a month, but it can actually be less because they give you money back if you don't use your data. So if you're paying more than $50, there's no reason to not switch. It's crazy not to switch because same phone, same number, same contacts, literally nothing changes. TYT.com/switch, TYT.com/switch. All right, we'll be right back. He's gonna run amok trying to accumulate as much power in an authoritarian way as possible and money. And of course we were right, why? Because we've been paying attention the whole time. And Trump is not complicated. So, okay, so in my opinion, they made a mistake. And I would say, and maybe a lot of people on the left disagree with me, but understandable mistake, not because of Trump, but because of who we offered up, okay? And so now the left is in two camps. So one camp is, haha, you had it coming. You guys are idiots and we hate you and we don't accept your apology, or it's a good thing, or grovel more, right? And so, as you all know, I'm not in that camp. I'm in the camp of, oh, Andrew, great to see you, brother. Come on in, let's tell you about the populist left. Let's tell you about Ro Khanna. Let's tell you about Rebellion PAC with all these candidates who are actually for the average American. And why are they on the left? Oh, because it turns out historically, the left has had all of these wonderful policies like paid family leave and lower drug prices and higher wages. All the great policies are actually, in my opinion, not all, but the great majority of them are on the left, or what we call the left these days. And then they go, oh, that's amazing. Maybe we could go in that direction if you gave us a real choice, like Ro Khanna or someone like him. Amazing, that's exactly what we want. So, but at the same time, Anna, I'm no longer angry at the other side of the left that goes, no, hate them, make them grovel, don't accept it, etc. The reason I'm done with that anger is because, look, I get it, guys. You have your own background and you had your own media, and your media told you that Biden was a demigod and that he was FDR 2.0. So I don't blame you for believing that, I get it. Just like I'm not blaming some of the Trump voters for not understanding that Trump wasn't a demigod, right?
Can I be honest about something?
We both got took. So I'm trying to give the same grace to those guys as I'm giving to Trump voters. So I hear you, get it out of your system. And if you want to hate me or Andrew Schulz, okay, no problem, okay? By the way, the one simple ask though, I asked of the hosts, can you please not like.
Okay, Jake, hold on.
No,
Hold on.
Okay.
Who cares about all that? Look, we're operating as if like we live in a just society where our democratic process matters. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, look at where we are today. Like, look at where we are today, where you have both sides of the political aisle providing cover for a serial pedophile who is working for Mossad and potentially other foreign intelligence agencies. We don't live in a democracy. So like, look, I just want people to understand our issues are far deeper than any of us realized. Okay, like there is no conversation to be had about policy right now or legislation right now. Our government is rotten to the core, regardless of who's in charge. And we gotta change that. You're not gonna be able to change that by continuing the fake partisan politics that's only framed in the way it's framed to divide us. Like you get what I'm saying?
Of course I do.
We don't live in the world that we lived in, or we thought we lived in 2016 when Trump had just gotten elected. We don't live in that world.
But Anna, that goes to the point that I was making, because I think those independent podcasters are critical, because you already have people on the hosts on the right and the left that are never gonna move, and they're gonna tell you the answer is the new corporate Republican or the new corporate Democrat. And don't worry about it that they are both support Israel and the powerful and Wall Street and the donor class. That's not important as long as you pick the corporate Democrat. No, it's not gonna make a difference. Oh, corporate Republican or Trump, who's an establishment elitist. And it goes to the point I was making, which is that a lot of the hosts told people that we voted for Trump or supported Trump, and half of the left looks like they think that we did that, when that's not even remotely true. Because when you're a partisan, you don't care about what's right or wrong. You care about my team winning. But what Anna's trying to tell you is your team isn't your team. When they take the donor money, whether it's from Israel or the big pharma, they're not on your team, they're on big pharma's team. So if our side or any side makes the mistake of picking someone like Cory Booker, because they're like, oh, what a nice corporate Democrat.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's an entire entity within our government. It's called the deep state. They're not elected officials. We can elect whoever the hell we want. It's not gonna make a difference.
No.
We have to do something to get the rot out. Otherwise, none of this matters. Okay, Andrew, like the reason why I'm not like up in arms about, oh, Andrew Schulz helped Trump in the lead up to the election and now he's changed his mind. The reason why I'm not riled up about that, as others are, is because our issues are much deeper than what comedian podcasters have to say about various candidates and who they invite on their shows.
No, but Anna, see, the reason why those podcasters are so important is because when Trump goes to nationalize the elections, as he threatened to do yesterday, if the podcasters all turn and go, oh, hell no, that's unconstitutional, we're not gonna let you steal the voting machines and then tell us who won later, it could push back. But if we just go, no, we hate you guys too, and we hate everyone, and Trump should do what the left wants, that's not gonna work, right? So I'm trying to maintain whatever democracy we have left, so we could get someone in 28 that might be able to make a difference. I know you say you're black-pilled, etc.
This is not, no one's gonna make a difference.
Okay, yeah, look, and a lot of people could say, ha, Cenk, this is hilarious.
I don't think it's hilarious. I think we are in crisis.
Hold on, let me finish for what I'm about to say, But if you elect an ally of mine, I promise you that I will do everything in my power to make sure that we actually have an honest government and that we clean out all of the spies, the assets, the agents, the traitors inside the American government. Now, we might not make it, an ally of mine might not make it, I might not make it. And by the way, that ally could get elected and go, Cenk, thanks a lot, get the hell out, right? That's entirely possible. And then I'll come and tell you, okay, now take the black pill, because we're done for, right? But we've got to try at least one more time. Because if we don't win in 28, meaning the American people, no matter where you are on the political spectrum, Palantir is gonna win. And then then we're all Palestinians. And we'll be occupied forever and ever and ever. So we cannot let the bad guys win in 28. And now when Andrew Schulz and the others are coming in our direction, I think the correct answer is wonderful. Thank you guys for being open-minded and for realizing that Trump was not the answer. So we tried all the corporate Republicans and Democrats, they weren't the answer. The fake populist right of Trumpism, not that there's right-wing populism doesn't exist, but Trump's a fake populist, that didn't work. The answer is obvious, try populist left. So guys like Bernie Sanders are the only ones who've ever been honest. To be fair, Tom Massey's also honest, right? But you gotta try one last time, otherwise we're doomed. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.